I would like to share with you about rebuilding. When you rebuild your lives, we need to build on solid foundation. In Matthew chapter 7 verse 24, Jesus said, "Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock." To build on solid foundation, we need to listen to the words of God and put them into practice. We need to listen more about what God is saying to us. If we have rejected or neglected the word of the Lord before, today, if you want to rebuild your lives, we need to go back to the basics. We need to go back to the word of God. We need to understand how it works as far as the Creator is concerned. And it will be our foundation in rebuilding. I believe that some of us right now are clueless on what to do, because we have just experienced a pandemic, a trial in our lives that we have never experienced before. What better thing to build our lives on than the words of the Lord? You know, Jesus left us His Great Commission, and He instructed us to teach disciples to obey His teachings. We should not focus on things that just fill our minds, but on teachings that leads us to obey. If we remember what Paul said, "My message is not of wise and persuasive words, but a demonstration of God's power." It's not about good arguments. Today, people are debating on social media about many issues. Sometimes it gets us nowhere. If we will go back and build our lives on solid foundation, we need to be able to not just win an argument, but to be able to apply the wonderful plans of the Lord, the blueprint of God in our lives. Since I came here to Bangkok, I have been eagerly taking down notes whenever somebody else would be teaching about the Word of God, not just to fill my notebooks and put it in the shelf, but the reason I take down notes today more than ever before is because I want to make it a point that I should write down action points to make a plan based on what I hear from the people of God and apply it to my life. That's what Jesus said. Whoever hears these words of mine and puts them into practice, we need an action plan. He is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. You know, I remember when I was young, one of our subjects was physical education, and our teacher was teaching us about swimming. But the problem is, it was just on a board, and we weren't able to apply it in real life. There's no swimming pool in our small school before. Today, it's high time that we do the word. Build your life on solid rock.